I really feel it's one of the most underrated. It's all too easy, you know. I mean, it's law of attraction. All these things are very popular, and you know, but there are, you know, even more time-tested and ancient ways that are just as effective, if not even more effective. You know, so mantras happens to be one of those signs.
Hello, welcome in to another edition of Chi Time, your conscious living show. I'm a bit excited here on this show because my dear friends Leela and Anam are waiting in the wings, my lovely Illumina friends, giggling away in the quiet. There they are. Oh, look, there they are. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, darling. So wonderful to have you back on the show. We're going to be talking the power of chanting, of how important mantra is, Kundalini yoga, singing, just generally all the cool stuff that you are involved in. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having us again, one more time. It's a pleasure.
I know, it's a pleasure and a thrill, and it's just great to have you coming back in and giving us updates on how things are going. So if anybody wants to catch up on other Illuminas, I think it's on the SoundCloud, the other Chi Time Illuminas, but otherwise you have your own channel, of course, with all your wonderful music. Mm-hmm. And what's very exciting is that you have been running your magical mantra Mondays for what, about the last 6 months or so, is it? How long have you been doing that for?
Longer.
It's longer, actually.
It's actually, I think it will be
almost
a year
now.
In October. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Time does fly.
quite a long time, and that is a real commitment for you to do, isn't it? You know, to find the time in what you're doing, to set that all up and then to arrange it to get everybody on board. So thank you so much for attending to that.
Yeah, we love doing it. It's one of the things that it's good for us because it's easy. It's actually, you know what, it's just as easy not to do it as to actually commit to it, you know. So it's if the, you know, the motivation has always been there to provide people with a steady a platform and a recurring platform, something that regularly happens. That's when the shop opens and that's when the shop closes, and you come in and, you know, that kind of thing. So regular hours, regular people understand it's your Monday night sort of time for myself and my chanting, and I can tune in. And the whole idea was that it wouldn't work if we were to have a venue or something, because then people have to travel and it's a lot of shenanigans. So Facebook Live was absolutely the perfect opportunity and platform for that. Absolutely perfect.
I completely agree, because it means that I can come and hang out with you as well, you know.
Yeah.
And everyone else there, and this power of the online community that is growing, it enables us to really connect. And I've started my Chi Up Your Week Qigong now as well I think it was a Saturday morning, but I'm going to move it to a Thursday morning as we move into the new term. Again, kind of just an experiment. How can this work for us when we're in our different pods around the world, when we know we've got friends here and there? How can we help to unify ourselves? And that's what you've shown by what's been going on the Monday nights.
Yeah, it's exactly what happens. It's this unification that's, you know, yes, there's an amazing thing that happens when we all come together in person and in the flesh. And of course, it's not like one or the other or really comparable. It's just that there's this other possibility and platform that we can plug into in a really healthy, conscious way that works for everybody. And that's what we've really experienced through doing the magic mantras pretty much every single week for almost a year, is that there is something amazing that happens in the field when we're all connecting in that way in different parts of the country, probably in different countries as well, that it doesn't matter that we are not in the same room. There's something magical and tangible and powerful that happens when we come together, and I think it feels very exciting. And,
there's no separation. That was what I got as you were saying that.
Yeah.
And to work in the quantum field together like we do with the sound and the chanting and the qigong and the qi, it's the energy work that I think really responds well to this way of behaving. And I had to like overcome that kind of like, oh no, you've got to be in the same space to do this together. And there's part of me that still really, really values that. I love it, as I know you do too. But let's expand. Let's find new ways to be able to commune together. And also when you're doing the chanting, it's really lovely doing it in your own space, because then you can just do it however it comes out. I know it.
Yeah.
I know you always say that as well. It doesn't matter how you sound, but there's something that you can say. Sometimes I even bang a drum along with you and you don't know.
Nice.
I feel like it, or so there's a bit more freedom with that.
Yeah, we've had feedback from people who said, I'm doing harmonies to your harmonies and I'm dancing in my room, and it just feels so lovely that everybody is in their own life and maybe they don't have the time or whatever, that's just the way it is, that we're all kind of communicating, connecting from our own homes, but
I know
meeting each other and expressing ourselves in our own spaces. So.
Yeah.
And of course the replay facility, so there's no excuse not to turn up. It's like, because we give excuses to ourselves. Oh, I missed it, I missed this. Like, no, you haven't, you just missed the live. But the chi of it, the energy of it is really there, and it's going to continue on once you've done it. Because it's something that you were saying about the energy of the mantras exists anyway, and when we sing along, that's one of the things that you really taught me, that they're already happening, and when we sing along, we're just tuning in with that energy that's already there.
Yes, they're like mantras. They're working with sound frequencies, and you don't create frequencies, they're already there in the entire spectrum of every possible frequency already exists. And so what we're doing is we're resonating with that frequency by chanting that particular mantra, and then it has the desired effect in our lives. And I really feel it's one of the most underrated. It's all too easy, it's law of attraction and all these things are very popular, and but there are even more time-tested and ancient ways that are just as effective, if not even more effective, So mantras happens to be one of those signs that, is very underrated, I think, and also people don't really understand it very well, because first of all, it's maybe in Sanskrit, it's not the native language of the Western world, and the culture is very different, everything's different. So, it's easy to think that I understand it, but a lot of people, the way to understand mantras is actually by doing them, by actually doing. If someone's not Indian, then at least 365 days of constantly chanting one mantra will start to open it up a little bit, open up the vibe of it, the energy of it. Otherwise, it's too far removed culturally, there's no connection there. So just, starting with 30 days is 40 days is a great idea, but then working up to at least a year to start connecting with it, then that starts to really create momentum. It's the same with people can relate to it, I guess, in a way that if you start a YouTube channel or a Facebook page or an Instagram account, you're going to have to post every day for at least a year or two for anyone to even take notice, and you're going to have to post quality content. So it's the same thing. We repeat with great attention, great detail, great awareness with each day, you know, and after a year, it starts to really kick in and create huge momentum in our lives.
There's a consistency that is required of this practice. Yeah. It's the same with the Qigong as well. If you want to get the effects, you've got to put in the time. And as you were just saying, that doing it for a year, you actually encourage yourself to invite it into your life forever then, because it becomes part of who you are. And I've watched mantras that you've introduced me to. They're just part of my internal repertoire now. They're my go-to, or they call me. And which is it's just such a relief to have something inside of me that has that integrity to it, and that expansion into something much bigger than just little me. You know, it's actually part of something bigger and more supportive. So at the moment we've been doing the Lakshmi mantra, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
And I would
we finished now. Yesterday was the last one.
Oh yeah, it was.
Haven't
okay
we? So
we've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. So we've like you say, we've taken a mantra, and initially we were just doing 1 week at a time, weren't we?
Yes, we would do one, you know, a different mantra each week.
A different mantra each week until we got to Gayatri.
Yes.
And then we kind of decided, let's do a Gayatri month. And then when we'd done that, we realized that it was so powerful and we wanted to carry on.
Yeah.
So we just carried on with that one. Yeah,
because when we asked everyone, it's a really amazing community now. People look forward to that Monday evening chanting time, and it's amazing to see the same people again, you know, each week. And it's a really excellent, fantastic community. So when we asked people, should we do a mantra a week, or should we just do one a month, just like do properly sit and chant the thing? And the response was, let's do one, take a mantra and just really go with it for at least a month. So we did that with the Ganesh one after that, and that went on for 2 months.
Yeah, I think that's also where things maybe sort of shifted gear a little bit as well, because there's this kind of the building. Of course, we're previous to that we were meeting every week, and there was a building that was happening anyway. But something about, like, pretty much alluding to what you were just speaking about with the mantras, when we stay with them, or when we stay with the practices, like you said, with the Qigong and yoga and any of these practices, when we stay with them, that's when they start to really kind of open up inside of us and become part of our selves, and our experience, and the way we perceive starts to really change.
And to give the benefit, you know, to see the benefit, we have to be consistent to see the results.
Yes.
As with anything of value, of value, like especially things like Qigong and any spiritual work. If it stop-start, then forget about it. Why, it's not gonna, it's just not gonna happen. But if we commit, if we say, okay, I'm gonna just do this for this amount of time, then that will have effect.
I think it will, just to say, if people who are listening or watching this have got a stop-start practice, it's like, at least just stop it and starting. Just keep remembering to restart. Just keep starting. Get back on. Starting. And you're kind of training yourself to get on the horse, aren't you? To keep getting back on the saddle. And there are people that have been to one session of Qigong. You probably get this with yoga as well, where they do benefit hugely from that one session. But if they want any more benefits, they're going to have to keep doing it.
You have to keep doing it,
to keep getting on it. So I would love to play this Lakshmi mantra for people now. This is off your album. Can you tell us how you got into recording this? Because it's a particularly splendid version, I must say.
We always wanted to do a Lakshmi mantra to really just basically upload on our YouTube channel, so people can just really plug into it every day. And that was the main motivation, that I felt it'd be nice for me to listen to it whenever I want to, and also to have it in the background when I'm working. And so it was really more along those lines, that, okay, we don't have anything that we can listen to, so why not create something along those lines. And that eventually turned into a whole album of different mantras. And so Lakshmi mantra was part of that desire to, same with that Om track, you know, to just have something that I found to my own tastes, you know, and I tried to create something that we feel, or at least I tried to produce it in a way that we felt, both of us felt, that it would appeal to a wider, you know, it wasn't just for us, so it would appeal to a wider audience, and hopefully people would enjoy it enough to want to listen to it again and again and benefit from it.
Yes.
Lovely. Illumina are here with us on Chi Time, and this is their gorgeous Lakshmi mantra from the meditation CD. So when it comes to setting yourself up for singing your mantras and everything, we're going to play you the Lakshmi mantra. Lovely. How do you do it? What do you suggest to people to sort of set themselves up?
It's always really nice to just take a moment to just sit quietly with yourself, to just see, just where you're at when you start, you know, your practice. You know, things like connecting to the breath, particularly connecting to the breath, is just so, you know, so easy to do, but so powerful to do, because then we're in our bodies. And then just tuning into what you feel you are chanting the mantra for. So for instance, if we're talking about the Lakshmi mantra, it's probably something to do with abundance on some level, whatever that might be. And it might be different for you. You know, if you were chanting, or I was chanting, there's probably a different reason, like why we want it. It's not just I want to get loads of money, which might be the case, but probably something a bit deeper as well. Or you want to, whatever it may be, just connecting with that, and taking a few moments to just feel into what you want to open up to in your life, and in that, you know, in the realms of abundance, and just really letting yourself feel it and be with it. And if there's an image, there might be an image that you stay with or feel in your heart. And what can also be helpful just to say is that if you're beginning a long discipline of a mantra, it can be really nice to write down your intention initially, and then each time you come to sit and chant the mantra, you might read it or just have it with you and tune in that way. So that's another kind of way of anchoring, or kind of like anchoring your energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And also appreciating that appreciative, I can't say it properly, but you know,
appreciative quality.
That's the word. Yes, thank you very much.
It's very, especially for this track, we recommend that instead of focusing on what can I get, and programming the mind constantly with that repetition of getting, so that associating abundance with getting, how about flipping it around and, you know, listening or doing the mantra along with the intention that this mantra allows me to appreciate with money the services and goods that are offered and coming to me, that I desire in my life, so that the abundance is my way to, so I get to appreciate more. The more I have, the more I get to appreciate, which is then an energy that goes out from the heart. You can't appreciate just from the mind. You know, you have to appreciate. You feel something when you appreciate, right? So that's the best. That's the way we intend this track to be worked with.
Om Shri Klim Mahalakshmi Swaha. Om Shri Klim Mahalakshmi Swaha. Om Shri Om Shri Kling Mahalakshmi Swaha. 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 Om Shri Kling Mahalakshmi Swaha.
Wow, that mantra is so potent. There's the potency of it, but I love all the sounds that you've used, all the layers of those twinkly tinkly. It's almost like there's like coins being dropped or something. Is that what you had in
Wind
mind?
chimes. Wind chimes. It's they're wind chimes, and that was the. I always imagined the abode of Lakshmi being a lot of like a warm breeze, soft breeze, you know, blowing, and butterflies, and you know, like a more of a gardeny kind of feel to it. A temple that is open air, more, you know, where it's not like a enclosed space. And so this was a way to. I felt wind chimes might be a nice way to perhaps somehow conjure that image in the mind. I don't know if it worked or not, but it certainly did create a relaxing sound.
Definitely, and I love that things can come in on the wind, because when one tunes in on one's abundance, potential and possibilities, we don't always know what's going to come in or what's just waiting for us, and that idea of it's going to blow in on the wind. I love that. The different directions that gifts can come in, just as much as the different directions the gifts from us can go out, you know. It's not one fixed way, and the abundance is so clear. I mean, here on our beautiful planet, the abundance is all around. You've only got to appreciate what's already here, and that helps to accentuate it.
Yes,
isn't it?
Definitely,
Really?
definitely. Yeah, because it automatically, as you were saying earlier, like appreciation brings you into your heart. And when we're in our heart, it's like when we start to appreciate, it's like everything starts to open up more. And then we realize, oh my goodness, there's blessings everywhere. And everything is, there's so much to be grateful for.
Yes.
And how quickly that quality of appreciation can tip our vibration into something of upliftment and possibility. Yeah,
it's really, I mean, if we think about it, it's impossible to really like honestly feel impoverished if we are genuinely appreciating something. It could be the smallest thing, but at that particular moment, it is you know, not feeling impoverished. No matter how bad the situation may be, at that moment when genuine appreciation has come in, the feeling of impoverishment they cannot coexist together.
Absolutely, and it shifts your perception, doesn't it? Because you can go down like a rabbit hole of, oh, woe is me, and then you notice like a beautiful flower or a bird in a tree, or just the fact that your breath has come in as another gift for you in that moment, or you've got a nice cup of tea.
Yes.
Something she says, flashing her new tea time mug.
That is very groovy. We love that.
Everybody's cup of tea.
Oh my
Brilliant.
God,
We did there.
So cool.
I do appreciate my cups of tea, and they continue to expand and turn up, so I'm very grateful. But yes. So indeed, appreciation, gratitude, and the way through the current chaos and challenges. I think that, as we said earlier, to get back on the horse, to keep coming back into your practice. And when you've got chanting as part of your embodiment practice, you get so involved with that now moment, you can't really think about anything else. And that's why I think it's so valuable to bring your sound, your voice, your frequency, your vibration into the world, into your being and into the world.
It's very true. It's there's something, even in the affirmations world, it is acknowledged that listening to someone else doing those affirmations is one thing, but if we record our own voice and then listen to those affirmations, they'll have thrice the more powerful effect and quicker. It's the same with the, mantras are affirmations on an energetic level. They're not meant to engage the mind. They're meant to engage the energy of which we are made. The chi. They're meant to move chi through sound, through our vocal cords. So as we chant, our subconscious mind is listening to our own voice, doing the alchemy of moving the energy.
So it doesn't matter that we don't understand what the Sanskrit is, because thinking we didn't introduce the actual words before listening to that mantra, but I know that you do on your Magic Mantra Mondays on your Facebook group. You always have it written there so that we can see what we're actually saying, but we don't know what they mean. And do you think that doesn't matter?
It's really quite remarkable, because this only exists in the Indian esoteric system, as far as I know, is the concept of bij sounds or seed sounds. So this mantra, for example, the one that we listen to, the Lakshmi one, it's Om, Shring, Kling. So 3 sounds that actually have no meaning in any language. They're not. They're actually sound frequencies, So Om is Om, or is the sound of the universal frequency, that frequency that no matter where we travel in the universe at whatever time period will always be in the background, always running. It's the connecting thread of existence, that particular frequency. And that frequency is harmonious with every frequency that ever exists. It's the middle line, And then you have Shring, which is the frequency of producing more, of creating more, of moreness. So Shring is that frequency that starts to multiply things. And then Kling is the frequency that is attractive, that creates magnetism in the chi flow, so that so that's how we work with that abundance mantra. Is we multiply first, then we attract that multiplication back to us. So we're giving first, then we're taking. We're giving first, then we're taking. So it's an inflow, exhale, inhale, kind of thing. And then Mahalakshmi Swaha. Swaha again has no meaning except like a connotation of offering oneself in the service of. So Mahalakshmi is the name of the deity associated with abundance. So now that mantra starts to make sense. The universal frequency, it's like water. Everything dissolves in water, right? Well, most things, except plastic and other man-made. But all natural things, eventually water are water soluble. Even metals, broken down enough, are water soluble in a sense. So the Om is like the water that holds everything, all frequencies. Then you have Shring, where you create and multiply. Kling, where you attract that back to you for using in practical life. Mahalakshmi is invoking the deity. And Swaha is offering oneself in the service of.
Oh, thank you. That's really helped us to understand the finer details of what we're doing when we're chanting. Fascinating. And to be with you guys live is just something else. And I know that we've got some gigs coming up, particularly, I'm going to flash this in front of the screen, those of you watching. We've got you coming down on the 20th of October down to the New Forest. Not to that isn't correct. That bit isn't correct there. We're at the Retreat New Forest. And during the day, we've got Dr. William Bloom teaching us the how to inspire, lead and teach meditation. And then you, my beauties, are going to be there for the evening. Oh, and every time you have been down to the New Forest, people just like rave about the whole experience, and they just love it, don't they? They really, really do.
We're looking forward to it.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we just really enjoy coming down to anything you organize. It's very professional and very, very high quality, but at the same time you have this great knack of preserving the warmth and the humanity of that in that. I don't know how to put it.
It's really true. It's really true. There's the kind of like you say, the high quality, the finesse,
and the hard work. I mean,
the hard
my God, you work
what
so
you
hard.
pour into it, and then also this sense of coziness as well, and togetherness and community, and we love we coming to
particularly love it when you invite us down
to Clara gigs.
We love our Clara gigs.
Well, we work brilliantly as a team, and I thank you for your professionalism, because that helps me as well. And we've just got a good lines of communication open, and it means we can get to hang out as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So we might even do a little live. We might be able to put some of it on a live on your channel or whatever. Let's see what wants to happen. But I know that we've already sold quite a few tickets, so that's great. So
Awesome.
Don't hang about. If you want to get tickets, go over to consciouslyivingevents.co.uk and find them there, or they're all over Eventbrite as well, and on our Facebook pages. And if people want to find out about you and what you're getting up to next and how they can tune in with your Magic Mantra Mondays, how can they do that?
Go on.
Yeah.
Well, our website is illuminamusic.co.uk. And then we're also on Instagram and Facebook as Illumina Music. So it's all one word, Illumina Music.
Yeah, find us. Instagram and Facebook especially. Yeah, Instagram and Facebook have the most action happening in the sense that it's, we post content there daily, and it's interesting stuff, educational, inspiring stuff, silly stuff, connect with us stuff. So, come and follow us on Instagram. Again, like Lila said, Illumina Music. Find us there. Facebook page, Illumina Music. And the Monday lives are on Facebook. They're Facebook live streamed. So join us 8:30 p.m. sharp.
I love the way you say sharp these days.
Sharpie. He's a sharpie. He's on it. I actually much prefer it being at the later time. That suits me way better. It
works really well, doesn't it? Yeah. 8:30 works really well.
Yeah,
it does. And I must just say that after doing all these mantras, and I often combine them with my Qigong practice, if I'm honest.
Lovely.
Great idea.
But the amount of coincidences that are occurring in my life now are like, it's exponential. It's like all the time. It's like, and they're not particularly special. I'll just share this one thing with you because it actually involves listening to Illumina on the road. I was at Bordeaux Airport. I don't know if you remember about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I had to get the later plane because I'd missed the first one. Don't ask, long story. But anyway, I was there and I just managed to get some plant-based food, and I was sitting down and they were just waiting. And I was like, oh, brilliant, I'm in time, I can plug in. And when they were saying, and when you were saying, oh, we'll just go straight into the chanting, I go, no, please, can we do a meditation, like meds, please, And that was so great. In the middle of this hubbub all around, I could plug in my headphones, could close my eyes, and I could just have that presence of being with you guys, just anchoring me, like it's okay that I'm getting on the later plane, even though it costs me more money, it doesn't matter. All of that doesn't matter. I'm here now with you, coming into my presence with the chanting. And then I look up, and there's a chap sitting across from me who's just doing some stuff on his phone or whatever. And he looked vaguely recognizable, but as you can imagine, I meet quite a few people when I'm doing all these events and stuff. So I just thought, oh, well, whatever's. About 5 minutes later, he just looked at me. He said, would you look after my bags while I go to the loo? And I thought, you're really trusting me here, aren't you? And I thought, I know. And I said, well, I would, but I can't see it because it's on the floor. So he picked it up and put it on his chair. And then when he came back, we started chatting about how he had just been on a big long walk in, not Tuscany, Corsica. Anyway, a big sort of pilgrimage, showing me all these pictures of him and his son. Great, amazing footage. It's really serene and beautiful Mother Nature. You know, it's so great because the mantra's still going around in my system. And then at the end of all that, we're just going off. I said, introduced myself, and he said, "We've met before." I'm like, "Yeah, I think we have." He goes, "It was here. It was at Bordeaux Airport last time I was here." What? I was just like, what? I'm not even supposed to be here right now. I should have been on the earlier plane. And I sit down and I sit there.
That's incredible.
And
wow.
And it might not mean anything else from there, because often when amazing coincidences happen, we think it's a sign that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with that person. But no. I think it's much more of a sign that you're on your path. Your truth, you're aligned to your presence, your very being. But it just made me smile that you guys are involved with that, because it was the Ganesh mantra, so we were getting rid of obstacles. It's like getting stuff out of the way, and special. So thank you for letting me share that with you.
Thank you for sharing that. That was fantastic. Yeah.
So it really is magic hanging out on Magic Mantra Mondays with you guys. I highly recommend it. Get over there. And if you haven't got a Facebook account, just get one just for that. Oh, no, not just for that. The other reason is to hop into Chi Up Your Week, which is the week going online. You don't have to do anything else on Facebook, just those two things.
Those two things, yeah.
And in honour to us all on the planet at the moment, with our beauty and our love and our care for one another as brother and sisters, we've got a fantastic Illumina track to play out with. This is Niawe, and I'd like you to introduce that for us and tell us how you came to choose that and why it's on your album and stuff.
Yes, so Niawe is one of our favourite mantra or prayer song friends. It's been with us for a long time. Long time.
It's been our buddy, our friend.
And we, most of the time when we do live concerts and gatherings, we tend to start with Niawe right at the beginning.
Especially if we haven't played there before, or if it's a new environment or a new
To be honest, we do it most times anyway. We've tried not to, and we sometimes say, oh, maybe we won't do it today. But it mostly slides in there. Isn't that true? It mostly kind of just finds its way in there, because it really it sets the tone of presence and gratitude, basically. Presence and gratitude. Because the word actually means thank you for being. So, and it's from the Iroquois tradition, and it's their greeting, basically. As far as we understand, it's their greeting for everything. It's their hello, it's their goodbye, it's their see you later. And Yahweh is what they say, which is thank you for being. We first heard this beautiful greeting through a friend of ours who, right in the beginning of when Illumina began, he would come to our events and he shared this greeting with us. And we just completely fell in love with it, didn't we? We just really fell in love with it. And after a short amount of time, this musical version, started to birth itself. And that's, the rest is history. We just kept singing it and singing it and singing it. And it was like, well, it has to go on the album. So it's on the first album, Illuminate.
Brilliant. Well, thank you to beautiful souls for being part of Chi Time. You're so welcome, but also for bringing through all that you do for everyone. You know, you're stunning, absolutely. There's an impeccability to what you do, and also a beautiful playfulness, so endearing and attractive. So thank you so much. You're welcome. Let's play Niawe Illumina on Chi Time. Thank you so much for listening or watching. See you all soon. Bye for now. Keep your chi up, my friends.
Thank you for being